I have a bee in my bonnet and I have to get it out. I just don't understand. Maybe someone can explain to me the logic behind not producing our own oil. I know the Save the Earth people say it's not good for the environment, this and that, but we're using the same amount of oil. We're not using less oil because we stopped producing it in America or reduced production in America. We're using just as much, every drop as much as we were before when we were energy independent in 2020. But now we're loading it onto tanker ships and moving it across the ocean. Those tanker ships burn diesel and they're pumping carbon into the atmosphere. Those tanker ships leak. Those tanker ships can sink or have accidents where they release thousands of gallons of crude oil into the ocean. And then they go to ports and then they're put into trucks, and those trucks release more carbon, getting them to our gas stations. So, how is that better in any way for the environment than producing it locally and not moving it as far and releasing as much carbon into the atmosphere? In addition to that, in America, we have this thing called the EPA that very strictly regulates the means in which we extract oil from the earth to minimize its impact to the environment. Other countries like Russia, I guarantee you, do not have as strict of regulations as we do in the United States. So they're harming the environment far worse when they extract oil than we would if we extracted it ourselves. And that holds true for anywhere that we're buying oil: Saudi Arabia, Venezuela, Iraq. It doesn't matter. Iran, I don't think we buy oil from Iraq. But the point is, if you extract it yourself, you have a measure of control as to how it's extracted from the earth and therefore how much negative impact it has on the earth. The planet isn't a bubble. The United States is not a bubble. If it were true that there was a bubble over the United States and extracting oil in the US only impacted the environment in our little bubble, and we could have somebody else extract it in their little bubble to where it doesn't hurt us, then that argument may make sense. But that's not how the world works. It's one earth, it's one environment. Whether we extract the oil ourselves or someone else does it, you're still harming the environment in the same ways. So that argument that we shouldn't produce our own oil because we want to save the planet, it doesn't hold water at all. I just don't understand it. Maybe somebody can explain it to me, but it makes no sense to me whatsoever.